This rather frightening animal, with a unique shape of the head and jaw, may well be mistaken for a creature from hell. What you're seeing right now is not a genetic glitch or a mutant. This creature is called the ugliest animal in the world. But in Syria, in their homeland, goats of this breed are considered simply divinely beautiful. This is a rare breed of domestic goat called the Damascus goat, known as Shami. In many countries, they are kept because of their unique, exotic appearance. With bulging foreheads, drooping ears, and protruding bites, they resemble something out of science fiction. These demonic goats, and there's no other way to call them, are most common in Cyprus, Palestine, Israel, and Syria. The breed belongs to the heavy type. The maximum weight that Shami goats can gain becomes 130 kilograms with a height of 1 meter, and goats weigh up to 90 kilograms with a height of 75 to 85 centimeters at the withers. The most distinctive characteristic of the breed is a head with a very hooked muzzle. Another characteristic feature of pedigreed goats is hanging ears, the length of which can reach 30 centimeters. Many goat owners take the strange appearance of the Damascus goat to a new level by cropping their ears short. That's pretty right, isn't it, girl? They gained worldwide fame in 2008 when one of the goats of this breed won the title of the most beautiful goat in a beauty contest in Saudi Arabia. Now this rare breed has become extremely valuable. According to experts, the cost of one such goat is comparable to the cost of Arabian thoroughbred horses and can reach $67,000. The most shocking thing about this breed is the difference between their appearance when they are small and when they grow up. Shami goats with a small head and incredibly long ears look pretty cute. But then, they gradually begin to turn into a real monster capable of scaring many with their appearance. Would you like to meet such a cute goat? There are goats who love mountains and fresh air. They are very unpretentious and sometimes live in places where other animals simply cannot be found. And life in the mountains is very difficult. Only the smartest, cleverest, and of course, proud survive. The snow goat is a breed of goats living in the mountains. Goats live only in the Rocky Mountains of North America. They live very high. They can climb mountains to a height of about 3,000 meters. They lead a nomadic lifestyle, moving over bare rocks and patches of alpine lawns. Snow goats are real beauties. Their fur is white almost the whole year, and their hooves are black. Snow goats are very large. Their height at the withers is 90 to 105 centimeters, weight is 85 to 135 kilograms. Because of the lush fur, they look even bigger. The goat's winter fur coat is such that it can withstand frosts up to -50 degrees Celsius. Snow goats have an incredible climbing ability. People for climbing have arms, legs, and a bunch of all sorts of devices, and goats have only legs. But the legs are not ordinary, but the best. Strong, slender, and very bouncy. Despite their impressive physique, they walk on completely steep cliffs with barely noticeable ledges and cornices. It seems completely incomprehensible how such large animals can stay there. They manage to put their hooves on the smallest stones and then climb onto ledges from which it is almost impossible to get off. They move slowly, lazily, and very rarely jump. At the same time, if the snow goat jumps, it is usually down, sometimes 6 to 7 meters, on a barely noticeable, often icy ledge. The hooves of a snow goat are a perfect device for climbing mountains. They are bifurcated and can move apart as needed, providing traction with the surface. They are soft in the center and very hard at the edges. That is why snow goats never slide on rocks, but seem to stick to them and can stay even on tiny ledges and climb steep slopes. These animals have plenty of enemies, but predators are extremely rare on their way, because they do not rise to such a height. But it happens when faced with an enemy, they fight off the enemy with their horns, thereby saving their lives. An angry goat can be a very dangerous component. The most terrible predator for them is a mountain lion that climbs rocks, just like snow goats. However, it must be said that the most dangerous creatures for animals are the human hunter and the human poacher. Do you agree? Share your opinion in the comments. Have you heard of goats fainting? As it turns out, goats are also known for how they faint, and they do this from strong fear or overexertion. In emergency situations, the goat falls into a complete stupor and falls on its back or sideways with its legs outstretched. Fainting goats are a type of ordinary domestic goats with a rare genetic disease, congenital myotonia. In stressful situations, animals develop complete muscular paralysis of the legs. Since it is impossible to stand in this state, they fall on their side or on their back. At the same time, the goats are fully conscious. As a rule, the condition is observed for a short time. When this happens, the goats usually freeze for about 10 seconds, but then get up and run about their business again. Isn't it interesting and funny to watch them run around and then suddenly faint? These pretty cute goats with big bulging eyes and a Roman profile are very popular. More and more often, they are brought up as a pet, especially small specimens, as they are smart, friendly, and funny. Currently, fainting goats in the United States are recognized as a rare breed of domestic animals and are under protection. A special kind of mountain goat lives in the Alpine mountains, which are called ibex or ibex. Alpine ibex is an unsurpassed rock climber and mountaineer. And if it is clear why goats climb mountain slopes, then why do they stubbornly climb the slopes of dams? It's amazing to see goats not in the mountains, but on a dam. Impressive, right? Then let's put some likes. So why would mountain goats climb steep man-made walls? And then what they desperately lack in the mountains? And they don't have enough salt. And for the goats' sake, they are ready to walk many kilometers or climb unimaginable steps. The goats climb up on their hooves as if they are rubber and literally stick to an almost vertical wall. And they do all this solely in order to lick some salt. And they can also arrange a fight on a sheer wall, fighting for the saltiest place. It is very surprising to see goats moving around where they seemed to be nothing to cling to. And all this is thanks to tenacious hooves, a very good sense of balance, and a vestibular apparatus. That's what they are, salt goats. Would you like to have such a goat as a pet? It is known that goats are unsurpassed climbers, and goats can jump higher than their height from a place. Try again. What, it's not working? Yes, it is very difficult, and climbing a tree for goats is not difficult at all. Moroccan goats are the most bouncy on the planet, and they graze not on the ground, but on trees. This happens not from a desire to show off, but because of the acute shortage of grass in those places. Goats, like movie stuntmen, stand on incredibly shaky branches and reach for their delicacy, the fleshy and juicy fruits of argan. Maybe it's a specially bred breed that can climb argan, you ask? No, Moroccan goats are, in fact, the most ordinary. This is not some kind of unique species endowed with acrobatic abilities. It's just that goats, forced to adapt to the harsh local realities, have found a new food base. By the way, the height of argan reaches 8 to 10 meters. So Moroccan goats can be safely recorded in the most real climbers. There are amazing goats of the Welsh breed. Their front half of the body is black, and the back half is white. Welsh goats come from Switzerland and are considered one of the oldest breeds in Europe. Her origin is African. They immigrated from Africa to Switzerland to a place called Valais in the mountains, and so far they live only in the upper Val. Both goats and goats have horns. The horns are very powerful and long, on average in goats 30 to 50 centimeters, in goats 80 centimeters. It was a Welsh goat named Harlequin with the length of 1 meter 24 centimeters horns that got into the Guinness Book of World Records in 1991. They are unique not only in color, but also in a very thick coat. After all, it is primarily a rock where wind, snow, and rain are at a frequent occurrence. The coat is very coarse, thick, and everywhere except for the muzzle and legs, long, up to 40 to 50 centimeters. There is a distinctive feature in the forehead, which is a thick bang. They are not cut, but they are scratched 2 times a year. They are still kept in some zoos as exotic animals. Screw-horned goats, Markhors, live high in the mountains. Of all mountain goats, they are the largest and the most powerful. With a body length of up to 1.7 meters, shoulder height of 90 centimeters, and a weight of up to 90 kilograms. The name of this species comes from the shape of the horns, twisting like a corkscrew or screw. Look at the magnificent horns on this goat right here. They reach a length of 1.5 meters. True, only males have luxurious horns. Females cannot boast of such a length and are content with 20 to 30 centimeter horns. The horns of a screw-horned goat are twisted in opposite directions. The number of revolutions reaches 2 to 3, rarely 4 revolutions. Mountain goats don't shed their horns, they wear them all their lives. And in order to maintain their ventrigost, the Markhors need to marry only their own kind. The habitat of this animal is steep slopes of gorges, rocks, and cliffs at an altitude of 500 to 3,500 meters in the mountains of northwestern India, eastern Pakistan, and Afghanistan. Screw-horned goats spend their whole lives among rocky cliffs and deep gorges. The mountains give them both food and shelter from enemies. The Markhors jumped so deftly to the steepest slopes that any climber would envy them for sure. Moving away from danger, they can go down into the gorge, jumping along the steep walls from one side to the other, while relying only on the smallest ledges. Their legs are strong and their hooves are designed so that they do not slip on stones, so predators who decide to hunt Markhors will have to look for other prey. Screw-horned goats are peaceful animals, but in the spring, when the males arrange tournaments, there is no trace of this calmness. Seeing each other, the rivals immediately try to prove their superiority by butting and pushing. They collide with strong foreheads with such force that the sound of the impact can't be heard for over a kilometer. There is an opinion that screw-horned goats became the ancestors of domestic goats. Do we know much about the goats we are familiar with? Well, yes, this is horned, eternally bleeding animal gives milk, fluff, maybe some eat it, many of us will say. However, there are many breeds that some have never even heard of. Their homeland is Pakistan, and they can also be found in Arab countries, on the territory of India, Afghanistan, and Tajikistan. Gulabi is an incredibly beautiful, graceful animal with white fur. Slim build, elongated thin neck, head with a Roman profile, expressively lively eyes, and long droopy ears. Very long ears that hang down to the knees are impressive. They are soft, wide, and thin. They appeared in goats for a reason. In their homeland, expressive ears help regulate heat exchange, preventing the body from overheating. The breed got its name because of its pink skin color. Gulabi translates as pink. These are high-legged animals The height at the withers in goats is up to 110 centimeters with a weight of 90 kilograms, and in goats, up to 130 centimeters with a live weight of up to 130 kilograms. Goats have a thick coat, which makes them frost-resistant and hardy at low temperatures. Gulabi are also very appreciated for their delicious and nutritious milk. These goats are very intelligent and affectionate, and quickly become attached to their owner. They immediately recognize their owner, and sometimes behave like dogs, completely copying their behavior. They follow along the site, sleep near the door of the house, waiting for the appearance of a person. Have you ever looked into the eyes of a goat? Goats have a very unusual pupil shape. Due to the rectangular elongated shape of the pupil, the goat has a viewing angle of almost 340 degrees. Depending on the lighting, they change from a narrow slit to a rectangle and even a square. It is this pupil and the special position of the eyes that allows even the most careless goat to notice a predator sneaking up from behind. And all this, mind you, without turning their head. The Italian breed of Gargantana goats traces its ancestry back to southern Italy. Her long horns, like a giant corkscrew, make this breed of goats uniquely original. Just imagine, the horns of an adult goat can reach a length of as much as 70 centimeters. However, the roots of this breed go far beyond Europe, towards high-altitude Afghanistan. According to some sources, the ancestors of Gurgatan goats are wild screw-horned goats. It was from them that they inherited their amazing horns. The ancestors of Gurgatan goats were probably brought to Sicily by the Arabs, who invaded its borders in 827. Gurgatan goats with impressive horns and a medium-sized white long-haired fur coat up to 85 centimeters high at the withers and weighing up to 65 kilograms. Looking at Gurgatan's funny goat, you involuntarily think about how impressive the fantasy of nature can be. Kashmiri goats live in the highlands of Central Asia and Tibet, in the mountainous regions of Mongolia, Iran, as well as in northern India, at an altitude of up to 5,000 meters above sea level, in a harsh climate and sudden temperature changes from -40 degrees to +40 degrees. To protect against the harsh climate, nature has awarded these animals with an amazing, unusually soft, and very valuable down, which protects the goats from rain, cold, and heat. It is a small, slender animal, about 1.5 meters long and 60 centimeters high. The trunks of Kashmiri goats are covered with a long guard hair with a thin and soft downy undercoat. In the textile industry, only their valuable down is used. For many centuries, the down of Kashmiri goats has remained the most expensive natural raw material of all known varieties of wool. The high cost is explained by the fact that an average of only 120 grams of fluff is extracted from one individual. In addition, goats of this breed cannot be bred with the preservation of wool properties anywhere outside the listed territories, since with climate change they quickly lose their properties. The down of Kashmiri goats and the products is the height of bliss. Let it be expensive, but the absence of allergies to it, extraordinary softness, lightness, and comfort are finding more and more fans all over the world every day. All goats are good, and which goat do you like the best? Can't choose? Look further to find the goat of your dreams. A very interesting breed, the Boer, was bred in South Africa at the very beginning of the 20th century. You can easily determine the breed by the color of the hair on the head. They have a brown color. This is their characteristic feature. The rest of the body is white. Males have thick horns on their heads that curve backwards. These goats are a dream legend for every goat breeder, a kind of cult, really. The reason for such popularity is the size of such individuals. In addition, the Boers are very beautiful and look like something exotic and enticing. In fact, Boers are large, massive, and very spectacular animals. The largest breed of domestic goats. The body weights of goats of this species can reach up to 95 kilograms, and adult goats often weigh more than 130 kilograms. Exhibition samples often weigh more, but that's why they're on exhibit. Boer females have a calm disposition, but the goats, they're wayward. They are agile and very strong. Sometimes they're aggressive. Some of the special features of Boer goats: rapid growth and high fertility, unpretentiousness and maintenance, good adaptability to climate conditions, in particular to a hot climate, explain why this species is definitely one of the best. Kamori are goats that are widely known for their beautiful and unique appearance. They have an amazing color, reminiscent of Arabic script. The homeland of this breed is animals in Pakistan. There, they're highly appreciated for their unpretentiousness in nutrition, good heat tolerance, for the taste of milk, as well as for the special coloring of the wool. The Kamori has red, brown, white, or black spots of unusual shape on a monophonic basis, in which there is a similarity with Arabic script. Kamori goats are very similar in appearance to other Pakistani goats. They are characterized by long, drooping ears and a hooked nose. The length of the ears can reach 45 centimeters. A goat is 1.5 to 2 times larger than goats. Kamori goats grow more than a meter. There are also representatives of the species who are as tall as an adult. Kamori are resistant to a bad environment and are a source of livelihood for many residents of Pakistan. These goats look like sheep, but are not even their close relatives. These are Angora goats. Their unique wool is the reason they look like sheep. The body is entirely covered with a shiny hair covering, which consists of pleasant to the touch, long, curly or wavy strands. A healthy Angora goat has soft wool falling in soft curls, which is quite beautiful to look at. The homeland of Angora goats is a mountainous area of sunny Turkey. The animals got their name in honor of the modern city of Angora, known in ancient times as Angora. Adult Angora goats weigh 45 to 50 kilograms, and, in addition to the wool, flaunt luxurious horns. The growth of goats can be up to 75 centimeters. The Angora goat, with a weight of 30 to 35 kilograms and a height of up to 66 centimeters, cannot boast of such a luxurious decoration. Her horns are small and thin. The main color of Angora is white. Goats with gray, black, and silver color are less common. But the main advantage of animals is their wool. Angora goats are the main wool breed of goats, giving the so-called mohair. On the farm, these goats are sheared twice a year, receiving up to 6 kilograms of wool from a goat and 3 to 5 from a goat. Then mohair yarn is obtained from this wool, which can be turned into many different warm things such as hats, scarves, mittens, and socks. Dutch Landress. You will be stunned just by looking at this ferocious goat. It has long, hard horns and a shaggy, thick coat that easily scares people and other animals. Dutch Landress goats are sturdy, medium-sized animals, mostly horned, with short legs and long hair. This breed is originally from the Netherlands. Goats are really very aggressive and can attack their owner without hesitation. And goats can also be used as a horse-drawn transport. A trained goat can pull a cart with a load of 500 kilograms. Haven't you heard? That's fine. In 1958, the Dutch Landress breed almost disappeared, having been reduced to 2 animals. Since 1999, the number of goats of this breed has increased and today has about 2,200 heads. It has already become customary among the people that for comparing with this animal, you can get a slap in the face or permanently stop acquaintances with the offending one. Well, aren't these artiodactyls really that bad already? What do you think? Share your opinion in the comments. If you liked this video, then don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. An eagle's favorite tactic is to rush at prey with a stone from above and deliver a crushing blow with their claws, which look like huge hooks. This tactic is so effective that an eagle can defeat an animal 10 times heavier than itself. Now you will see the most epic attacks of these birds of prey. Eagles are real-life fighters. They know a lot about air combat tactics. Look how a bird of prey attacked a goose right in flight. A powerful blow that knocks down a bird like a bullet. She tries to stay in the air, leaving a trail of torn fluff behind her. But the eagle breaks her spine and finishes her off. Predators often attack prey that exceeds their mass. But eagles in this regard are the record holders among vertebrates. A feathered warrior attacks a deer, an animal almost 10 times heavier than itself. But despite this advantage, the ungulate is not able to escape. The enemy's grip is so powerful. The first blow of the eagle has already caused internal damage to the deer. He tries to fight back, to escape, but soon the bird gets to his neck with its curved beak. This fox thought that the eagle wanted to steal his prey. No, the eagle wanted to catch the fox himself. The bird strikes with jeweler's precision and with such tremendous force that it literally demolishes the victim. The fox flies up to the height of a man, does a few somersaults, and it becomes a dinner for the eagle. In addition, the golden eagle can deliver a crushing blow to the fox so as to drag it along the ground and stun it. Although the fangs and agility of the red robber cannot be underestimated, and he could bite the throat of the enemy, the feathered easily suppresses him. The struggle on Earth ends with the saddest outcome for the fox. The golden eagle quickly overcomes him due to the fact that it balances with the help of wings. This gives him the opportunity to fight with both clawed paws at once and leaves the fox no chance. It turns a predator that often preys on birds into a victim. This powerful bird is a real magician, isn't it? Definitely deserves your like on this video. In general, eagles are a whole group of birds that belong to daytime predators. This family also includes hawks, buzzards, kites, as well as Old World vultures, snake eaters, and some other birds. Falcons and ospreys are their closest relatives. They are called daytime predators as opposed to owls, nocturnal predators. And the definition perfectly describes the lifestyle that eagles lead. They eat only meat and hunt prey during daylight hours. Moreover, eagles attack victims right in the air, during flight, and also attack those animals that are on the ground. This makes the birds quite versatile fighters who are able to adapt well to different conditions. Eagles have several superpowers, opportunities and advantages of a unique body structure that take them to a completely different level relative to most other birds. First of all, it's super speed. You may know that the fastest mammal is the cheetah, which accelerates to an incredible 74 miles per hour, 119 kilometers per hour, which is almost twice the speed of a horse and 3 times that of human athletes. So, the peregrine falcon easily demolishes the cheetah. The cat would envy this speed. Over 200 miles per hour, 322 kilometers per hour, this bird is the fast animal in the world, and its advantage is simply huge. In general, they are one of the best masters of flight. Birds of prey are able to both plan on ascending air currents that save energy and engage in active flight. vigorously moving their wings and thereby gain tremendous speed. But they move the fastest when they fall with folded wings. Of course, someone might say that these birds are cheaters. After all, they achieve such incredible speed thanks to special tactics. Falcons and hawks soar up and then fold their wings and fall like a stone on their prey. That is, gravity becomes their accelerator. But in fact, this is another superpower of daytime birds of prey: jewelry flight control. Even with folded wings, a falcon or an eagle can change the direction of falling, turn around and with lightning speed, and most importantly take off into the air again, spreading its wings. Thanks to acceleration, a bird weighing as much as a cat can strike a blow that will surpass a bear's in power. And flight control makes it possible to hit exactly the vulnerable spots of prey. In the head, the neck, along the spine. Like, for example, here. The falcon delivered a powerful blow to the rabbit's spine. Big-eared is still alive, but his body is shaken by terrible convulsions due to damage to the nervous system. He will not be able to escape. In addition, excellent control allows the birds of prey to perform extremely risky maneuvers. For example, it hunts creatures that live near the surface of reservoirs. In general, eagles cannot dive. Their feathers will get wet, and the bird will quickly drown if the wings get completely wet. But eagles calculate the height and force of their wings so accurately that they have learned to fly up to the water with lightning speed and then slow down and practically hover over its surface. Then the bird snatches the prey and immediately changes the direction of flight to climb up again. The most famous birds that pull off such a trick are bald eagles. But besides them, there are other species of birds of prey capable of such a dangerous and impressive trick. This way of life means that the eagle's character is literally fearless. So the honey badger will envy their bravery. Due to this, eagles often attack large animals and even other predators that seem to have the advantage of greater mass and strength. If you think that diving is the only aerobatics that eagles possess, then you're mistaken. They do not necessarily need to use the acceleration of free fall to accelerate to the speed of a sports car. Just look at the hunting of this bald eagle. Its prey is smaller and lighter, but powerful wings allow the predator to easily catch up with prey. And amazing control and reaction speed give him no less maneuverability. So eagles are capable of long chases almost as well as lightning attacks. The bird's body has excellent aerodynamic characteristics. So, if you want to design the perfect sports car of the future, then you know what to be inspired by. During a normal horizontal flight, birds of prey are also able to move incredibly fast. The falcon can catch up with the car. There is a rare video of an eagle attacking an airplane. It's hard to say if this really happened, but if so, the bird struck several blows on the wing of the device as if it was some uninvited guest who needed to be slapped in the face to just get out. Boars and warhogs are pretty serious opponents. Even large predators can find it difficult to cope with them. But the skill of eagles in attacks from the sky is so great that the boar has little chance. The eagle swoops down on the prey at an angle and delivers a crushing blow. Sharp claws act like a sickle, but the eagle's task is not just to damage the skin or blood vessels. He breaks his neck and his spine. And after that, the eagle can safely walk around with its prey in one paw. It seems as if he got into something and is dissatisfied with going to clean shoes. But in fact, the bird is glad that now she has lunch. The wolf is one of the most successful predators on the planet. But the golden eagle does not care about the reputation of this enemy. The bird is so strong that it can attack a wolf and take away its prey immediately after hunting. The golden eagle attacks the predator from above. Of course, a wolf is not a timid beast at all. He will fight back fiercely. Besides, he also surpasses the bird in mass and physical strength. But this golden eagle is a real champion in hand-to-hand combat. He spreads his huge wings over the wolf, hovers in the air, and strikes a series of powerful blows. The claws of the bird do not allow the wolf to reach him with his teeth. The reaction of the golden eagle is lightning fast. He hits accurately, and the wolf barely saves his eyes from the sharp blades of the bird's legs. As a result, the eagle successfully pushes back the enemy and takes away his rightful trophy, like some kind of air robber. But this wolf was unlucky. The eagle chose him as his prey. Of course, attacking a large predatory animal is very dangerous. But the eagle has an advantage. The laws of physics are on his side. When the bird crashes down on the wolf from the sky, the blow comes out so strong that the predator, weighing as much as an adult, did a somersault. The main weapon of these birds are their sharp, curved claws. Since birds don't need to walk much on their paws, the claws can grow much longer than those of mammals. Such huge crescent-shaped blades give the relatively thin and not very large fingers of a bird's paw a particularly sinister look. Don't you agree? The length of a large golden eagle's claw can be longer than the length of an adult male's fingers. The task of the claws is not only to inflict maximum damage, but also to keep the prey. This explains their specific shape, but can be viewed up close thanks to these rare frames. Although the fingers seem thin, they have tremendous strength. Therefore, the eagle can hold and even lift into the sky prey that exceeds its own strength. The coordination of the eagle's movements is amazing. The eagle can literally change the angle of the movement of the wings by several degrees in order to slow down, hover, or turn around in flight. And at the same time, to put forward their terrible claws to accurately hit their prey and grab it tighter than a pit bull with their jaws. And all this in a split second. The sharp, curved beak of most representatives of this family of birds is quite short and wide. Therefore, they use this weapon not during the first attack, but after, during the struggle. Eagles do not always deal with the prey after a fall. Sometimes they have to fight for a long time, and then the beak plays the role of a warhammer. The bird holds the victim with its claws and with its beak strikes precise blows at vulnerable places. But this arsenal still needs to be used correctly. First of all, daytime predators have supervision for this. It's worth mentioning right away. Their eyes have two special abilities. This is the ability to see far, for tens of miles, tens of kilometers, as well as the ability to accurately notice small objects and objects. An eagle can see a rabbit, despite the disguise of an eared rodent, even from the height of an airplane flight. But these birds do not have night vision, so they never hunt at night. The coyote tried to steal the eagle's food, but the eagle reacts instantly. Such jokes won't work with him. The eagle strikes powerful blows right on the face of the impudent dog. Sharp claws pierce near the eyes. Although serious injuries were avoided, the pain from these blows will be a lesson that the animal will remember for a lifetime. Unlike the feathers of waterfowl, the feathers of eagles get wet easily and quickly, after which the bird can no longer use them for flight. Therefore, going down to the water is a huge risk for them. Do you think that stopped the white-tailed eagle from hunting a goose right on the water? Of course not. The eagle attacks the enemy and from the force of the blow, plunges into the water almost by half. But the endurance of a bird of prey can only be envied. Although she starts to go to the bottom, the dry part of the wings is enough to keep her above water. The eagle even continues to fight and drown the goose. And then, with difficulty, but quite successfully, he pulls the prey to the shore, where he proceeds to dinner in front of every other shocked goose. And this waterfowl was able to give the eagle a worthy rebuff. Every time the predator made a turn and rushed at the victim again, the goose dived under the water and dodged the blow. The eagle lost strength faster because he had to maneuver vigorously, whereas the goose only needed to maintain concentration and make a short dive in time. But the patience of a predator is also a kind of weapon for victory. He was able to catch the goose at the very last moment. And instead of trying to drown the obnoxious opponent, he snatched him out of the water. It seems that the eagles have some kind of competition who will take more risks on the hunt. After all, this bird of prey did not just decide to catch prey right out of the water. She's targeting a sea snake. Yes, eagles generally like to hunt these legless reptiles. But in the water, the snake is much more maneuverable than on land. It is easier for it to turn around for a counterattack. And most importantly, it is the sea snake that is the most venomous in the world. She hunts fish. These creatures have a circulatory system so different from land animals that most poisons do not even work on them. The solution of the sea snake is to generate a toxin so strong that one drop of it could kill all the birds within a radius of hundreds of miles. But the eagle does not care about these risks. He relies on speed and wins. The bird was not only able to snatch the snake out of the water so quickly that the blow stunned the reptile and left it no chance to counterattack. The eagle also managed to see the head of the reptile at a great distance and attack it in order to block the jaws of the enemy with its claws. Everything is for the sake of posterity, because it is the chicks that the feathered fighter carries his prey. Sometimes the eagle's love of risk leads to curious cases, like this episode that occurred in the spring of 2022 on Vancouver Island. This predator was not afraid even to invade the territory of people. True, he attacked an ordinary goose, but this does not reduce the courage of the bird. The lightning attack ended unexpectedly. The owner of the goose ran out into the street and drove away the predator. To fight with a young mother who has a child in her arms is beneath the dignity of this noble predator. Well, or he just got cold feet. In any case, the goose was saved, but only thanks to the courage of the woman. It may seem that the eagles rely primarily on the main blow, and if they fight on the ground, then not for long. But this predator does not take endurance. It's not a problem for him to withstand a really long fight. He leaned on a powerful iguana, but the reptile's skin was too strong to be able to finish the hunt with one blow. However, the eagle gave up and grabbed the victim. As a result, the lizard tried to go somewhere into the thicket right with an eagle on side of its back. Do you know how long this struggle lasted? 5 hours. Of course, it wasn't too resource insensitive for an eagle, but still spending so much time clinging to a lizard. However, maybe for a bird it was an interesting attraction that improves the appetite. What do you think is the reason for such a love of birds of prey for risk? Don't forget to reply in the comments. Although daytime predators prefer to attack from the air, if necessary, they can continue a long battle already on the surface of the earth. Moreover, even the superiority of the enemy in brute force will not stop them. The predator rushes at the larger bird and strikes, but this is not enough. Then a fight ensues, which is sometimes similar to fencing. The birds try to maneuver, dodge, and the fight drags on. But the escape routes are blocked. the predator simply will not allow you to take off or escape. Therefore, the outcome of the battle is clear. Sometimes an eagle has to fly to find its prey. He can fly for hours over steppes or valleys looking for a victim to attack. But if a bird of prey finds a large gathering of animals, it will resemble some kind of feast. See how an eagle flies over a huge flock of flamingos. The predator clearly chooses the most delicious prey, and then hits the flamingo from above, just as the victim is trying to climb onto the wing. A well-aimed blow, and the pink bird crashed into the water. Then the eagle descends even lower and finishes her off. The white-headed feathered fights brutally and leaves the enemy no chance. Comparing birds of prey with real fighter planes is not just praise for birds. After all, these creatures are capable of many aerobatics. Pay attention to this hunt, which caught the lens in 2022. Here, the birds demonstrate amazing agility, but the predator wins thanks to virtuoso maneuverability. He performs something like a half barrel, a 180-degree turn so that the wings are directly strictly up and down. At the same time, if the aircraft uses a maneuver for protection in order to get away from the missile, then the bird, on the contrary, in order to attack the target more successfully. At the same time, the predator grabbed the victim only tangentially, so she fights back, even being in the claws of a formidable enemy. We must pay tribute to this brave bird. It will fight for survival until the very end. And although her injuries would hardly have allowed her to fly if she had managed to escape from the grip, she still struggled. And who are you rooting for in this situation? Let us know in the comments. In any case, the bird of prey admires its bravery no less. After all, she did not slow down and used her beak at full speed right in flight. That is, for some time she flew blindly at great speed, risking crashing into rocks. At the same time, when a bird strikes with its claws, the feathers of the victim fly around like some kind of strange fan. And all because of the huge force that the predator puts into each throw. Even if the prey has time to react at the last moment, turns around and meets the enemy with its own claws, this will not slow down our hero, not for 1 second. It suppresses the prey's resistance in an instant. But even knowing the flying skills of falcons and eagles, it is difficult to understand how confident they feel in the air. It seems as if they are not afraid of falling whatsoever. Here, a peregrine falcon attacked another to take away its prey. At the same time, there was no brutal fight. The duel was surprisingly elegant. This duel could be filmed in 2022, and she could win the final competition for the most honest dogfight in the world. It would be much easier to attack the opponent from above. But instead, the falcon flew up to the competitor from below, made a barrel right in flight, hovering with its paws up. In this position, he carefully grabbed the prey right in the paws of the opponent. As a result, 2 birds lost their balance. For most birds, this would have been a fatal ending, but these falcons spent less than a second to restore flight. And then they flew together, competing in the tug of prey. Pay attention that they do not try to hit each other with either claws or beaks. Why do you think these birds are so noble with each other? Is this an instinctive behavior or a character trait of these individuals? Share your opinion in the comments. Amazing solidarity and honor, which does not negate their commitment at all. Both peregrine falcons risk themselves, but try to keep their prey until the last. Human pilots on their fighters can fly at a speed several times faster than the speed of sound. But they are far from the freedom that these birds know. At the same time, both birds not only survived, but maintained good neighborly relations. One of them unhooked in time, leaving the winner lunch. But with prey, birds of prey do not play chivalrous behavior. Here you can see how parents feed their offspring. Their nest is safely hidden in the thickets. The kids scream and open their mouths as wide as possible to be the first to receive a treat from their parents. But the family ideal is violated by a predator who has found the prey's lair. Parents are not around. They cannot cope with such a threat and had to run. For a carnivorous feathered, this is a real gift. He just takes one of the chicks and takes it to his nest. A light snack for the capture of which almost no effort was spent. If there was such an opportunity, would you intervene in this situation? Answer in the comments. And this duel is one of the coolest aerial duels between a bird of prey that has only been caught in the camera lens lately. The golden eagle is one of the largest and most powerful birds. And for him, even the black vulture is not a fellow, but a potential prey. However, although the golden eagle wants to eat this feathered one, it does not attack it like a defenseless goose. The golden eagle is going on a frontal attack. He flies straight at the opponent and gives him a chance to put his clawed paws forward. What is this, if not the nobility of a real warrior? A powerful blow occurs and both birds collide like two air rams. And then, the golden eagle hits the opponent with a wing from a turn, like a master of some bird martial arts. But the vulture did not lose his balance, the opponents uncoupled. Both survived this fight, which was too close to the ground to continue. True golden eagles are not always so noble. This bird just brushed away the falcon with one lightning strike. So, it's worth remembering, there are always sharper claws and stronger wings. When an eagle knocks down a victim and forces her to ride on rocky ledges, it's spectacular. But in the arsenal of the bird, there are also more impressive techniques for using gravity for their own purposes. Really huge eagles can lift even a fawn or a kid into the air, into a huge height. Then the bird simply releases the prey, and she flies from the height of the 10th floor with a completely predictable ending. The feathered one can only go down and start eating or take the remains of the prey to his nest. This way, it is possible to significantly save energy. The wingspan of some birds of prey can reach 6 or even 6.5 feet. 1.8 or even 2 meters. So it can show that these are massive creatures. They are powerful, but in fact much lighter than it seems. Eagles are 3 or 4 times lighter than wolves, which are comparable to birds in size. So a mountain goat is 5 times heavier than a feathered one. It is difficult to cope with such an opponent. An eagle can cling to him and literally ride him. But in order to defeat the prey faster and more reliably, you have to push it off the cliff. Then you can strike a few powerful blows on the rocks and then throw them into the abyss, if there are no other options. This confrontation looks brutal and epic, especially since the bird is also at risk. She is too close to the ground and will have no time to climb on the wing if the prey can drag him along. But usually this does not happen. Eagles are too experienced and strong predators. Nevertheless, even if a large eagle is crushed to a stone, its bones can withstand such a powerful blow. Look, an eagle saddled a mountain goat. The ungulate in a panic tries to escape along the edge, and the feathered one throws it off balance so that the prey simply breaks when falling from such a steep slope. But instead, the goat hits the rock along with the eagle. Do you think that the bird crashed or turned into a flat pancake like a cartoon character on whom a weight fell? As if not so. The eagle not only survived, but did not even loosen its grip. Of course, due to the relatively small mass, eagles are almost vulnerable, especially on Earth when they are attacked by large predators. The mass of a brown bear can reach half a ton or even more. In fact, the bear has a 100-fold advantage over the eagle, It's like as if a person tried to beat an elephant hand to hand. When the female discovered the nest of eagles, she was not afraid to bring her cubs with her for lunch. She was so sure of victory. Even the sharp claws of a feathered bird cannot save the chicks when they are attacked by this mountain of muscles. It is not surprising that eagles do not like bears and can even attack them for no apparent reason. Who knows, maybe a winged predator slapped a bear in revenge for old grievances. However, the eagle may be strong enough to fight back the lioness. Unusual tactics and cunning are used for this. The bird spreads its wings wide. It is too heavy to instantly take off to a great height. If she tries this, the lioness will have time to catch her pouncing from behind. It seems that the feathered creature understands this and does not try to rise into the air. Instead, the eagle spreads its wings on the lioness. So, the bird seems much bigger and does not allow itself to be attacked from the flanks. Of course, paw strikes could crush the wings in a second, but the lioness does not know this. In addition, the eagle rises above the ground enough to get its claws into the enemy. And the cat does not need extra damage. As a result, the bird remains alive, which is a great luck after meeting with the lions. And what epic fight with the participation of daytime feathered predators struck you the most? Reply in the comments and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We have a lot of interesting things.